Well, hello, math students. It's Mrs. Kohli. I'm here to help you better understand a very important math skill called subtracting with three-digit numbers. Today, I even took it to the next level and I started it off as a typical subtraction story problem. And I just thought we would review that just because I know some of us still are a little bit uneasy about is this addition or subtraction. So I'm going to give you some important clues as to why it's subtraction. So remember the four steps of solving story problems, or what we call problem solving, are: first, we need to understand our story problem. Second, come up with a great plan. Third, we solve. And fourth, we check. So you can see I've already gone ahead and done that. The story problem says there are 500 experiments. So picture 500 science experiments from a book, and we have a teacher by the name of Mr. Bosley has performed 234 of those experiments. Here's your question, so I circle it. Your question words, that is, how many does he have left to perform? This word left should be a red flag alert. It should be saying, pay attention, you're going to be doing subtraction because you're comparing two things, subtract. So hopefully by now, as a third grader, that word jumps out at you. You should be very familiar with the word left because you're comparing the 500 and the 234. Well, how many science experiments are left in that book? So I always put my plan off to the side, and then you can see this is the way you would set it up. Make sure we line our numbers up in their designated place value. Otherwise, we can end up mixing our numbers up and messing up. And why would we want to go to all this work and end up with the wrong answer? Okay, so we've got 500 cubes. That's what you have. And this 234, when you think about it, that's what somebody wants from you. As long as the number is bigger on top, then we can proceed on. Okay, we have enough to subtract, but we need to remember we have to go to each of our different places on our place value chart and see if the number on top is bigger. If the number on top is not bigger, then what do we always do? We have to go and we have to regroup, or what's called borrow from a neighbor. So the first step we do, if we struggle with this skill, is to always sketch. It's just the rule of thumb. You're going to draw a picture. We don't have our base 10 blocks in our back pocket to pull out and use on our test. So this is a great skill. Your teacher doesn't care if you use a piece of paper and a pencil during a test. It's acceptable. So that's why I'm trying to show you the sketching method is a sure standby at helping you get right answers, even on these challenging questions with two zeros. This is called subtracting across zeros. And this is a very challenging question for even fourth graders. So what you're going to want to do is take a look at the top number, and you're going to draw a picture of what that looks like. You can see I've already gone ahead and tried to help move this process along. It does take a little bit of time. So I drew out my 5 flats. Each flat represents 100 cubes. So 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. That's what I began with. And then you can see I already started the borrowing process to show you what that might look like. So this is what I said in order to do my borrowing. I say, and I start in the ones place, I have 0 cubes. My friend wants 4. This is called a think aloud. Can I give my friend 4 if I have 0? And the answer is no. Then I say to myself, what should I do? And then you say, borrow from your nice neighbor. So you go and ask, and they say, sorry, I have 0 10 sticks. But then they're a nice neighbor, so they're going to go ask their next door neighbor. And of course, they're that nice neighbor, and they say, sure, I'll give you a flat, but I don't have any 10 sticks, but you take it. So you cross it off, they give it to you, go to the bank, and you borrow. You make an exchange. 1 flat equals how many 10 sticks? Well, you can see it equals 10. 10 sticks, and that's what I did here. So I no longer have 0 in my tens place. I have my 10 sticks. Okay, and then I go back to my original problem. I have 0 cubes. You can see there's none there. My friend wants 4. Can I give him 4 if I have 0? And the answer is no. So what are you gonna do? I'm gonna go borrow from this neighbor right next door. Now they're no longer gonna have 10 sticks. They're gonna have, what's 10 minus 1 is 9. Now they have 9. And what are they gonna give me? Well, to make an exchange, 1 10 stick equals how many cubes? And the answer is 10. So I could take it and cut it apart. These are my little 10 little cubes that I got in place of my 10 stick. Hopefully so far so good. This is really not that bad. Now do I have 0 cubes? No, I have 10 cubes. So I don't have 0, I have 10. Okay, now we go back to our original problem and say, I have 10 cubes. My friend wants 4. Can I give him 4 if I have 10? And the answer is yes. And all you do is you go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you say, well, how many cubes do you have left over? And if you arrange this properly, it makes it easy. You just say, well, a set of 5 plus 1 is what? It's 6. So even if you don't know that 10 take away 4 equals 6, you've got a visual. You just count what you've created there. Okay, now I've got my 9 10 sticks. My friend wants 3. Can I give him 3? If I have 9 and the answer is yes. Okay, so then you're going to go 1, 2, 3. And then you say, how many do you have left over? If you want, you can just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or if you have confidence in your subtraction skills, you would say, what's 9 take away 3 is 6. And then a good student always checks their work too. So you could say the opposite of subtraction is addition. So I start at the bottom and I move back up. 6 plus 4 is 10. Got it. This is if you don't use the sketching method, then you can always check your work method called use the inverse operation. 6 plus 3 is 9. See, I'm checking this with 2 different strategies. Okay, the last thing is I have 4 flats. I need to take away 2. 1, 2. So how many's left over? Well, 4 take away 2 is 2. And the final answer is 266 cubes. Nice job. I know you can do this on your test. Just keep practicing. The more we practice, the better we get. Until next time, bye-bye, math students.